Ladies and gentlemen, boys and NBs, welcome back to the channel and Verdansk. That's right, it's officially here, and there is so much more to go over than the return of the map Verdansk itself. After a year and a half of moving in the entirely wrong direction with mechanics on Urzikstan, which really wasn't a bad map itself, it's just the fundamental game started a nosedive of epic proportions after Raven Studios took over from Infinity Ward with the Modern Warfare 3 integration. However, we hit rock bottom with the release of Black Ops 6 and smashed straight through, headed for a new depth we had never seen before. Seriously, I would rather play Caldera than Season 1 or 2 of Black Ops Warzone. Before we get into it, make sure to like the video and subscribe if you'd like to find your way back. I'm Nolsey, and I make videos about all sorts of topics I find interesting from the gaming space and real world alike. Alright, let's do this. In March of 2020, the entire world came to a halt around us, forcing us into our homes, and we found solace in Warzone, as it just happened to release the very same day that global lockdowns started. Through the year and a half of Verdansk, so many friendships were made and lost if you couldn't win your ones. A new era of Call of Duty was born, and it was big. However, it was not meant to stick around forever, and no future maps were made, so we spent almost an entire 2 years on Verdansk. It did get a facelift with Cold War to 1984, but this was just a fresh coat of paint almost entirely, making people absolutely sick of the map in the latter seasons of its second year. Vanguard released and brought us Caldera, which sure would be the absolute worst the game could ever be. Reddit, Twitter, and other spaces were all full of posts begging to go back to Verdansk almost immediately. However, we had no choice but to ride this horrendous year out. Finally, in 2022, Infinity Ward, the team behind the incredible successes of Warzone originally and the Verdansk map, were back up to bat and had announced a return to form, a new map in Al Mazrah, and a new mode under the Warzone umbrella of DMZ. DMZ was sadly ahead of its time, and we most likely won't see it again until 2026, though Infinity Ward has been trying to re-release it in a non-beta standing since Rebirth was added to Warzone during Modern Warfare 3. We very well could see DMZ return at any point, but we are guaranteed to see it next year with Modern Warfare 4. Let's get back on subject though. With Modern Warfare 2's Al Mazrah and DMZ, Warzone saw quite a lot of changes, including originally starting with a 2-plate and needing to find a 3-plate. Much more grounded and realistic gameplay, once again moving away from the asinine designs of Raven's first attempt under the Caldera year. A return to blistering time to kills, which required skills and thought instead of simply bum rushing and breaking cameras while aim assist did all the work for you. A backpack system allowing you to carry tons of plates, kill streaks, and whatever else you could want. They also took away loadouts originally, forcing you to only be able to buy guns from the buy station one at a time. No perks were available in Warzone during this period. Though the early seasons were rough, we did quickly see a reversion of loadout systems while still being able to buy single guns from the buy station if we wanted. You could get your full loadout, perks, and equipment directly from the buy station through a loadout like it had always been. Plate carriers were back to a starting 3, and recoil was slightly adjusted to cater to bad players who would rather be playing Apex Legends for some reason. Modern Warfare 2's year was mostly good in both Warzone and DMZ once the first season and a half or so were over. We got news midway through the year that Sledgehammer Games would be running the next year and Modern Warfare 3 as a full game, instead of an expansion onto the best-selling Call of Duty of all time, Modern Warfare 2, the second one. Sledgehammer Games would up movement speeds along with time to kill and turn the Warzone experience back into one very similar to that we experienced just 2 years earlier on Caldera, though it would be on a much better map in Urzikstan, as Infinity Ward made this map not Raven. The only problem with this map would be much like Verdansk, it hung around far too long. Activision decided middle of Modern Warfare 3's lifecycle to cancel the upcoming Black Ops 6 Warzone map Avalon, which does look absolutely incredible, and I really hope we do get it in the future. Seriously, there are videos of it all over YouTube. It looks incredible. Due to the cancellation of Avalon to bring Verdansk to us today, Urzikstan had an insane 17 months as the big map within Warzone, with only one point of interest added to the map the entire time. And even that was taken away from us for the last 5 months on the map. Black Ops 6's take on Warzone has to date been by far the worst state Warzone has ever been in, with janky, over-the-top cartoony movement, time to kills counted in seconds, and just all-around poor game design. That all changed this week with the return of Verdansk. During the COD Pod in early March, we heard from primarily teams at Infinity Ward and Beenox about the new version of Verdansk, and the hype was insane. Then we got the patch notes showing us that quite literally every mechanic in the game was returning to the golden age of Verdansk alongside the map, though Omni movement would be staying at a much slower and grounded speed, receiving updates to fluidity along the way. Gone were the days of 18 shots to kill and doing spinneroonies while praying rotational aim assist did all the work for you. We were moving away from cheeks on the ground warfare and back to boots on the ground. Verdansk has returned us to a better time in COD's history, not just with a map, but with rotations that require thought and maintaining cover. There are no longer redeploy balloons or drones. You have to use vehicles to get around quickly. Squad weapon composition is now important again, and game pacing has been slowed to the mode's original design. This allows for lulls in combat to plan your next move, chat with the boys, and actually enjoy the experience in front of you, so you can still absolutely bum rush from bounty contract to bounty contract if you would like. All of the original contracts have even returned to the mode as well. As far as Warzone goes, this is the best Call of Duty has ever been, and I say that not due to a honeymoon period, but because we have returned to those fundamentals that work. Movement speeds and time to kills that require a full skill set and not just raw aggression, and the biggest news that no one is talking about, movement speeds and time to kills that require a full skill set and not just raw aggression. The biggest news that no one is talking about is Microsoft has had Activision migrate onto the Azure server network, which has made the game run better with higher frame rates, less server lag, and higher tick rates. This has simply made the game run smooth as butter all the way around. The returning weapons of the HDR, AMAX, and Kilo are all a nice touch, though I personally cannot wait to get my hands on the Ladra at mid-season, a brand new SMG, as well as the mentioned buffs to bring the Modern Warfare 2 and 3 weapons in line with the Black Ops 6 ones. I cannot stress it enough, now is the best time to enjoy Warzone, as it is in my opinion the best BR on the market currently, just barely edging out PUBG for the time being. Super interested to see where it goes from here and what you have to say about Verdansk and the current update. I'm also looking forward to seeing the inevitable return of DMZ in the somewhat near future. I've been Nolsey and I make videos about things that I find interesting. Until next time, free Palestine, like the video, and leave me alone.